Most of you know that every month I give away some of my favorite products to some that simply rate and review this podcast. And this month, I am sending out 7 Sundays grain-free cereal and granola. These are all of their top selling items, including their real cacao, maple sea salt, simply honey, Daydream Dark Chocolate, Raspberry Nut Granola, and their Rise and Shine Strawberry Banana Nut Granola. You guys, if you haven't tried any of these, this is your chance. It is so freaking good. Just give this podcast a 5-star rating and review. And every last episode of each month is where I will be announcing the winner. So don't miss those episodes because you may miss me announcing that you are the winner. Good luck. Hey guys, welcome to the Digest This podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Cameron, and it's just me today. And I know you guys are enjoying these solo podcast episodes. And today we are talking about baby formulas. We are talking about why so many baby formulas on the market suck, basically. What the FDA says, if they have to approve it, if they don't have to approve it, what all that entails. I also share some formulas and some resources that are very beneficial if you're looking for better for you baby formula options. Better for your baby, better for your infant. There are some better options out there, and I really am trying to provide and share that with you guys. I also talk about the goat milk baby formula kit that is no longer available to a nursing mom or a mom that has a baby, I guess you could say. And the reason why it's not available anymore, if anyone remembers, there was a goat milk formula kit that you made at home that was so clean. It was so amazing. I mean, it was just awesome that they had that. And so I talk about why it's not offered anymore to the public. And I'm really thinking about sharing the formula because I found it in an old email that I had. So we get into that. And so if you find this episode helpful, please share it with someone that comes to mind, friends, family, maybe a mother or maybe an expecting mother. Yeah, I just want to be a good resource for you guys and just help share and bring to light what's happening in this industry because it's so sad. So with that, let's get right into it. I can't believe that we are now getting into fall, if not feeling like we are in fall already. And I love it, but it does come with some doom and shorter days, less sunlight. And I know we can all feel the depression and anxiety kind of kick in, some more than others. And if you're one that certainly notices a change in your mood when the cooler months come, I totally feel you. So, how do we combat this? Obviously, we want to be around people. I think diet and nutrition play a huge role, but I also think people overlook hydration. And studies have actually shown that when you are dehydrated, specifically when you don't have enough electrolytes, anxiety, depression, you might feel irritable, lightheaded, fatigued, having headaches, panic-like symptoms. These can all be signs of just low electrolytes. Also, flu season. As we get into the fall and winter months, a lot of people can get the flu and get ill. And then when we are sick, we do lose a lot of water and a lot of electrolytes. So I always recommend Element. I use the unflavored packs. I know a lot of people do prefer the flavored versions. Again, do what works for you. I like the unflavored, which is just 3 simple ingredients. There's no stevia, there's no natural flavors in their raw version. They do have other flavors. If you do need a little flavor or a little sweetness, they have that as well. And I'm always talking about it in my Instagram stories, but you can get a free sample pack. So if you haven't taken advantage of this offer, just go to drinkelement.com/digest to get this amazing offer. Again, that's drinkLMNT.com/digest, and you can get a free 8 single-serve sample pack. Adding electrolytes is a great way to replenish and rebalance your entire body, mind, and mood. I hope you guys love them as much as I do. Something I recently learned is that if you suffer with yeast infections and candida, but are still not able to fully rid it, or it seems just to be coming back over and over again, magnesium may be the missing link. This is because magnesium is actually required and needed to eliminate candida albicans. And without it, your body cannot actually break that yeast down and allow your body to eliminate it. So, you could be going on a candida diet, eliminating sugar, and doing all the right things, which may help in preventing more growth, but your body still needs to rid itself from the current overgrowth you may be experiencing. And without magnesium, your body is unable to do that. Once I learned that from a study I read in the NIH, I will now never go a night without my magnesium pills. And the brand I take is from Bioptimizers, which is their magnesium breakthrough. My husband and I have been taking it for quite a while, so it was already in our cupboard. But again, now that I know the importance magnesium has in eliminating candida albicans from the body, I never want to stop it. Not only is magnesium required to eliminate yeast from the body, but magnesium is responsible for over 600 different biochemical reactions in the body, including to help reduce PMS, cramps, and related symptoms, migraines, muscle aches, anxiety, insomnia, and even constipation. Magnesium Breakthrough is soy-free, gluten-free, vegan, and the best part is that Bioptimizers has a 365-day money-back guarantee. That's an entire year. You can try this product, and if you're not satisfied, you'll get your money back. So if you want to nurture your mind and body with this all-natural, full-spectrum magnesium supplement, go to bioptimizers.com/digest and use code DIGEST at checkout to save 10%. In addition to the discount you get by using my code, you can get up to 2 travel-size bottles of Magnesium Breakthrough for free. Again, just go to bioptimizers.com/digest. That's bioptimizers.com/digest and use code DIGEST. First of all, I want to say that I am not giving any kind of medical advice or any kind of baby feeding advice here. What I am doing is trying to educate people of, first of all, what's in our current formula for babies and infants, and also bring to light some of the products that I have found that are the cleanest on the market and where you can get them. Now, I always recommend you guys doing your own research, and I can certainly include links in today's show notes so that you can do your own further research, including studies and things like that. Before I even share about the formulas that I have found, as well as the goat milk formula kit, which was, I'll get into it. I will. I want to, first of all, highlight what's currently in infant formula and why are there such limited options. I think that's the huge question here is how come we have so limited options here in the US specifically, and how come there aren't, quote, better for you options, and we're stuck with these, with these crappy ingredients that are in infant formula. So I looked up, on the FDA's website, and this is a question here. So does the FDA approve infant formulas before they are marketed? So according to the FDA and coming directly from their website, I quote, "No, FDA does not approve infant formulas before they can be marketed. However, all formulas marketed in the United States must meet federal nutrient requirements, and infant formula manufacturers must notify the FDA prior to marketing a new formula. If an infant formula manufacturer does not provide the elements and assurances required in the notification for a new or reformulated infant formula, the formula is defined as adulterated under Section 42A1 of the FFDCA and FDA has the authority to take compliance action if the new formula is marketed. All infant formulas marketed in the United States must meet the nutrient specifications listed in FDA regulations. Infant formula manufacturers may have their own proprietary formulations, but they must contain at least the minimum levels of all nutrients specified in FDA regulations without going over the maximum levels. End quote. Okay. So I know that's a lot and it could be even confusing. So apparently they don't approve it, but they have to approve. It's like, no, they don't approve it, but yes, they do have to approve it, or they can deny it. It's so weird how they verbally state this. So, I mean, for the proud parent of any child, there is really no baby bottle formula that doesn't use ultra processed seed and vegetable oils as the second ingredient. I'm sure you guys have looked at the ingredient list and it's like number 1, number 2, if not number 3. And it's disgusting. Thankfully, these oils are being more and more recognized to the public as a health hazard. But in case you don't know really the nitty-gritty, I'll go into it in just a second. But again, people are looking for alternative ways. These omega-6 fatty acids are oxidized and can cause tons of health issues, if not immediately down the road when the child and infant grows into an adult and adolescent. So first of all, there is a notable exception for, I want to say, for like 12 months and older. However, this is not an infant formula. So Serenity Kids, if you don't know who they are, Serenity Kids, they make an A2 powdered milk infant formula. They only use dairy fats, which I think is amazing. However, they don't have any options for younger infants under 12 months. So I just want to make that clear, but definitely check them out, Serenity Kids. I feel like many Americans look to European markets for infant formula because of the more stringent consumer standards in Europe. But in some ways, it's even worse because of the culture traditions in food and wellness. Europeans are often further, or they are least acknowledged in fields like nutrition. However, even infant formulas labeled as quote clean or quote organic have several vegetable oils in parentheses as, like I said, the second ingredient. And yes, it can be clean or organic, right? This means the formula may be up to 20% made up of these toxic oxidized oils, while the parentheses means that the manufacturer doesn't know which oils were added and in what quantities to any given container of formula. So if you notice, sometimes, like I said, they'll put in parentheses or they'll put and or. So it's really sketchy. Another thing that's pretty significant is because some oils undergo much greater levels of processing than others. I'm going to take one formula, for example. So this company, they have coconut oil, right? But they also have palm and they have canola in their formula. So there's nothing wrong with coconut oil. In my opinion. To the contrary, its fats are, rapidly digestible because of their medium chain fatty acids. And one of those saturated fats, lauric acid, is believed to have antimicrobial properties. It can protect the hair and skin and even improve dental health markers. Palm oil, though certainly destructive to rainforests, is half saturated fat and half linoleic and oleic acids, which are inflammatory omega-6 fats just in nature. Now, the last one, canola oil, that contains almost only inflammatory omega-6 oils from polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, which are likely the cause behind the rise in heart disease in the Western world since 1950s. In fact, science communicator and medical doctor Kate Shanahan claims that because the first 3 ingredients of many baby formulas are non-fat milk, sugar, and vegetable oil, that means infant formula is 98% made up of those ingredients, making it the same basic substance as any candy bar on the shelf at the checkout counter. I know that's a shocking statement, but technically it's pretty on point. Now, as mentioned, the reason that industrial seed and vegetable oils are so harmful is that the amount of fat molecules that have been oxidized have gone rancid. So, excluding coconut, avocado, and olive oils, almost every seed oil, I can't make that huge claim, but I will say almost every seed oil has its microscopic amount of polyunsaturated fat extracted by introducing the sunflower seed, the soybean, corn, kernel oil, etc., to extreme temperatures, during which those fats oxidize, releasing many harmful chemicals like has amounts of polyunsaturated fat extracted just to extreme temperatures, during which those fats oxidize, releasing many harmful chemicals, which obviously we don't want to put into our body. And then it's processed with petroleum-based solvents called hexane. At the end of the process, the oil is rancid and would smell like rotting fat on a cut of beef or rancid fish would smell, right? So to not have it smell bad, the oil is then deodorized with special chemicals with synthetic antioxidants like BHT, BHA, and TBHQ, which have endocrine disrupting, carcinogenic, and immune disrupting effects. So what's sad is that linoleic acid-rich seed oils are present in almost all baby formulas, potentially setting up whole generations of children for heart disease, since linoleic acid can remain in fat cells for decades. All right, I've known about this for a while, but I was doing some more research and found out that more than half of coffee sold and produced contains mold, which of course can lead to health issues like food poisoning, immune system problems, and even sometimes cancer. Coffee actually has many health benefits, so I don't want to discard that, but there has been talk of potentially harmful chemicals called mycotoxins in coffee. And there's been claim that a lot of coffee on the market contains these toxins, increasing risk for several diseases. So what are mycotoxins? Well, mycotoxins are, as the name suggests, toxins formed by molds, tiny fungi that may grow on coffee bean crops, and these toxins can cause poisoning when you ingest too much of them. And if you're one to have a cup of joe every day or even multiple times a day, that's a lot of consumption and accumulation of these toxic molds. Many different types of mycotoxins exist, but the ones most relevant to coffee crops are aflatoxin B1 and acrotoxin A. Aflatoxin B1 is a known carcinogen and has been shown to have various harmful effects. Acrotoxin A has been less studied, but according to a study cited in the NIH, it's still believed to be a weak carcinogen that may even be harmful to your kidneys. This is why it's so important to buy not only organic coffee, but coffee tested for toxic mold to ensure you are drinking a clean cup that won't be adding to or even causing any health issues. Coffee can have many benefits. Just be sure you're getting them from a clean source like Equip Foods Clean Coffee. I have been a loyal consumer of Equip Foods products for a while, so when I found out they were finally coming out with a coffee that is not only organic, but mold-free and tested for mycotoxins, I was ecstatic. They sent me some early to try for myself, and I fell in love with it immediately. They source their beans from regenerative farms, which means the soil the coffee crops are grown in contain more nutrients than other soil used to grow crops. Equip Foods partners with small farm co-ops, so when you purchase their clean coffee, you're also supporting regenerative farming practices. All right, so if you're already drinking coffee, why not drink a cleaner cup that's organic and mold-free so you can actually get the benefits coffee can bring? Use my code DIGEST, which will get you 20% off not only their coffee, but all of their products, including their grass-fed collagen and grass-fed beef protein powder. Again, just go to outfoods.com and use code DIGEST to receive 20% off your entire order. Now, this only works on non-subscription orders, so be sure when you check out that it's defaulted to a non-subscription. I know you're going to love it. Enjoy. Every single time I cook eggs in my Instagram stories, my DMs get flooded with questions about the nonstick pan I use to create such perfect eggs. I'm not gatekeeping, I promise. The pans I use are from the company Our Place. I'm sure you've heard of them, but if you haven't, they are a female-founded company that creates non-toxic cookware and bakeware, as well as cutting boards, tableware, and even an air fryer, which comes with a 1-year warranty and 100 days to try it out for yourself and return it if it's not for you. And that goes for all their cookware. Their nonstick pans are made with ceramic, but most importantly, they're made without PFAS, lead, or cadmium. They're also oven safe for up to 450 degrees for all of your favorite stove to oven recipes. So if you're like me and don't want to transfer things, if you're cooking on the top of the stove and then you want to pop it in the oven, they're totally safe to do so. And if you're making an effort to buy non-toxic food and ingredients, but still cooking and baking with toxic materials, it's time to rethink that strategy because all of your good quality food is being prepared in a toxic pan where chemicals are being leached back into your food. I have been obsessed with Our Place, and I know you will be too. But if you're not, you can return it within 100 days. Free shipping and returns are included, so you really have nothing to lose. These make for a great Christmas gift for others and, of course, yourself. And if you want to save some money, you know I got you. Just go to FromOurPlace.com and enter my code DIGEST at checkout to receive 10% off site-wide. That's FromOurPlace.com and use code DIGEST. Now, do you guys remember, if you've been following me for a while, this was back in, 2021, I think. I actually set out to create my own baby formula. And I was doing tons of research. And because, of course, finding out all the horrible ingredients in baby formula, I wanted to try and make my own. I talked to many different companies, brands. Newzest didn't want to dabble into it. Come to find out why later on, there's tons of liability. I did contact this company and they were Mount Capra, and it's a goat milk formula. And they already had something on the market that was a goat milk formula kit. So you actually purchased all the ingredients from them and then you mixed it and made it yourself at home, which I thought was brilliant. And it kind of, in a way, to sell it as a kit, it kind of did like a workaround as far as they were able to sell it like as a kit versus here's a clean baby formula, because they knew the FDA, I'm assuming they knew the FDA would not approve it because, it didn't have whatever horrible ingredients that they want in baby formula that's required. So they had this goat milk formula recipe kit on their website. They sold the whole thing. And I was like, this is so brilliant. So I ended up speaking with them and we were speaking for a while. And it was really cool because they were pretty on board with it at first. And then they were like, first, why don't you just promote our current kit? And I was like, okay. So the whole thing of me making my own baby formula kind of went out the window. And because they said, oh, that's tons of liability. And I said, okay. So I said, maybe we'll put this on the back burner. We'll try this first. So I started really sharing. Well, I shouldn't say I started sharing about it pretty openly, but I did share some to some followers. But then what happened was I felt like they didn't even want me to share about their recipe kit, even with, my platform at the time. And I think, I can't say this, but I think the reason is because they did not want this to go viral or public, because though they were selling it on their website, it was pretty hard to find on their website. Even for me, I was like, gee, where is this again? I thought I saw it. You had to click all these different things to find it, and then you could add it to your cart. But it wasn't very easily accessed or promoted on their website. And come to find out, later on, I just think that they didn't want this to go public. They wanted to just go by word of mouth. And now this is saddening because as of May 10th, 2024, there was an FDA letter that came out and Mount Capra recalled their baby formula kit. Okay, and then here's why. And I think it's so sad. So they don't sell it anymore. I looked on their website. They do not sell this kit anymore. They don't, advertise for it. They had a whole recipe for moms and the nutrition facts for the moms out there knowing what they're putting into their child, the vitamins and nutrients. They could feel good about that. And again, like I said, they had the measurements of what to do and how to mix it. All that's gone. So I'm going to quote an FDA letter here, and this is what happened. So May 10th, 2024, Healthwise Minerals, Inc., they're doing business as Mount Capra Products, is recalling 1,500 boxes of goat milk formula recipe kit on the recommendation of the Food and Drug Administration and advises consumers to immediately discontinue use of the product as infant formula. The FDA is concerned that the formula does not meet all FDA requirements for infant formula, does not provide sufficient nutrition when used as an infant formula, and the storage instructions may be insufficient for the product. Infants consuming the recalled product without additional iron supplementation can develop iron deficiency, anemia, and feeding intolerance, end quote. Now, first of all, I know tons of mamas that have used this recipe formula kit and their children are now grown, they're healthy, no issues at all. And they swore by it and they were like, this is the best thing ever, yada, yada. And they recommend it. And there's really, in my perspective, there was nothing wrong with the formula. It was amazing. But I want you to check this out. The FDA notified Mount Capra of this is what people don't look into even further. Because I was like, well, why do they want Mount Capra to recall their products to begin with? Like what perked or sparked their interest, right? So this is why. The FDA notified Mount Capra of an adverse event report of anemia in one infant. FDA determined that while the caregivers were using the goat milk formula recipe kit and recipe, listen to this, the caregivers substituted some ingredients with a different brand of multivitamin, which created a product deficient in vitamin B12, as well as folate, and ultimately resulted in the development of anemia. So the caregiver, whoever was making this recipe kit, they substituted some ingredients with a different brand. So they did not follow Mount Capra's recipe and the exact ingredients that they provided. So they substituted. Okay, this is what a lot of people don't realize. And this was one single incident. And again, I want to reiterate, they did not follow the formula. So it sucks because now, of course, Mount Capra, they did not want to get in trouble and they wanted to just, not whatever, get sued. I totally get it. But so they voluntarily recalled all of their products as far as the recipe kit and no longer sell it. So that is just a shame because, again, it was not by the books and now moms can't get it. Now, I went back in my emails when we were talking and, I was about to promote it and we were going back and forth and they had sent me in a PDF format the recipe. The exact recipe that they recommended. Now, it's not available on the website anymore because obviously they took all that stuff down, but I had it in an email in a PDF form. And, I have been contemplating about sharing this because I think it could help a lot of mamas. Again, I did not make this recipe up. It was not by me. It was formulated by a doctor, a nutritionist, someone specialized in the baby field. And so I want to, make that clear. It was not developed by me. It was the original recipe. So I'm contemplating and thinking about sharing that in an upcoming newsletter. If you're subscribed to my newsletter, you can go to littlesipper.com, LILSIPPER.com/subscribe. And if you subscribe, I think I'm going to do it in an upcoming newsletter in the next week or two. So if not this week, maybe the following week. So make sure you go and subscribe on lilsipper.com so you don't miss that, because I also don't feel like I just want to like blast it. So it'll go straight to your inbox. It's not going to be on my website. It's just going to go as an email. So make sure you subscribe there. I do also want to share some better for you options that are like ready to go. You could purchase it. It's already mixed, right? It's still available now to purchase. So if you are looking for better options for your baby, you can go to the online shop. It's organicsbestshop.com, which has an entire list of baby formulas that are all organic, and they're mostly from Europe, by the way. So it's like a little hub where it's not a brand, but they sell different brands, and a lot of them are from Europe. I've looked, I really can't find a lot of them on Amazon, so you have to go to that website. I'm going to share a few top baby formulas I've found, but they still have some kind of vegetable or seed oil in them. And it's like so frustrating, right? I know they're trying, and I really do believe it's because of the FDA's standards that they have to include them in it. Otherwise, it's not going to be, quote, approved, or it's going to be rejected. I do know that a lot of baby formulas also contain high fructose corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup solids, brown rice syrup solids. And so a lot of these don't have that in it, which, that's great, because who wants to feed your baby corn syrup? It's so frustrating. So there are some that I can list, but I feel like it's really, it's your due diligence to really look and see which ones are the best. Again, on the website, they have some like Holly Nanny Care, one that I can't even pronounce because I feel it's like in a different language. I also have a very small list on my Amazon shop. I will try and include that in today's show notes. There's like maybe 3 that I found on Amazon, which you can get here in the US, that are the cleanest I have found, that are just ready to go for your baby. Also a few infant formulas that I found that was really cool. And just note, I have made a few notes on each product on my Amazon shop under baby formula, just saying like, hey, FYI, this contains like a seed oil, this contains soy, but other than that, it's pretty clean, things like that. So, and then I also think I may include a bunch more in the newsletter that I am formulating to send out with the goat milk baby formula. And so just be on the lookout for that. I think some people have mentioned Holly is good. When I look at that, this is a goat milk based too. When I look at that, I feel I'm just not on board with the ingredients. And I know it's just kind of like you kind of have to get what you're offered and what they have. I would say probably the best ones that I have found are on my Amazon shop. If you go there, the one in Holly, just for example, it has rapeseed oil, which is canola oil. That's probably like the worst oil, you can put in a baby formula. They also have maltodextrin, which is AKA sugar. These are just, things that it's just like, why, All right. So I will be off my rant here. Now, again, this is not a recommendation, but I do want to say, if you can find a nursing mama willing to share her milk, that would be ideal, as many mothers nursing often produce more than their baby can consume. I have also heard of countless mothers giving their newborns straight up goat's milk. Now, again, this is not medical advice or me giving advice. All I am saying is that I have personally known mothers who could not breastfeed, and my mother knew women as well, and their babies drank goat's milk as their main source of nutrients. And those babies are completely healthy with no issues. And I mean, think about it. What did we do back in the day before baby formulas even existed? Yes, because there was a time before baby formulas did not exist, believe it or not. So what would they do? Mothers would give their babies fresh goat's milk or even cow's milk, or look for other nursing mothers to share the wealth. That's what they did. And I think a lot of people forget that baby formulas weren't always available. There was a time when they did not exist. And so what did a mother do when she herself could not breastfeed her child? She had to look for other options. And so, again, all that to say is I do think that there are better options out there. I think we just have to look deeper and, not just buy the brand at Costco that is right in front of us, staring us in the eye, right? Again, I hope this episode was helpful, resourceful, and really, helped you feel better too, because I know I have sympathy for every single mother out there that cannot breastfeed herself, and she's looking for the best option, and they're just not out there for the most part. Or, if they are out there, you have to go through hoops and leaps and try and order, across the world. And and you're paying too. You're paying premium for these things across the world, not just for the product, but for shipping. And it's insane. And my heart goes out to every single mother that is trying to do their best for their child. And I don't condone or I don't condemn any mother that feeds their child the infant formula that is probably not recommended. I don't. If you are, I know you're doing your best, and I know it is what it is, and it sucks. So I'm really trying to give some better for you and better for your baby options. So anyways, if you did find this helpful, please share it with someone that you think of that could find this episode helpful. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.